Well, Hull have been travelling well this season. They haven't been that good at home, but they are good on the road. And that is the reason that they are pretty confident going into this match. They ended Castleford's Wembley hopes with a 28-12 win at the K-Con. They won here emphatically in June, and I think a lot of people fancy them to do the job tonight, Terry.
Yeah, you're right, Bill. Their away form has been good. Won 10 of the 13 matches on the road. The Hull fans have turned there hoping that they can do a number on Castleford. And last week the Hearts were criticised. They were disappointed and frustrated with the loss against Huddersfield. And this Castleford side weren't they exceptionally good defensively last week. They played against Saints. Just conceding 10 points in the last 3 games shows how good they are and how tough they are to crack. But both teams have got to make the most of the opportunities, chances that they get at the right area of the field. And they have struggled to score points. They've not had the strike that they've had Castleford over previous years. But both of the sides know how important, how desperate they will be tonight to not only get the win, but a decent performance going into the playoffs. Whichever sides make the playoffs, they've got to go in there and give it a real big shake, because players at the beginning of the year will set their goals that we want to make the playoffs, but you can't just fall over in round 1. You've got to go in there and you've got to make a real push to get to Old Trafford. Hull FC, we thought 4 or 5 weeks ago that they had a real chance of getting to Old Trafford. Then all of a sudden, they've lost 4 of the last 5 games, including the Cup semi-final. So both sides need to perform. Who's going to hold the nerve, Bill? It's going to be an intriguing contest.
Last home game of the season for the Castleford Tigers, in actual fact, and the coach, Darryl Powell. And he knows, he told us before the game, that this really is make or break for the Castleford Tigers season, and for Hull FC for that matter. Ben Thaler is the referee at the Menderhose Jungle. It's a calm night, no rain around, pretty still, pitch as ever in excellent condition, and it's all on the line for these two sides. We've suggested that Hull might be the favourites, Lee Radford's side, but in actual fact they're looking for their first win in 3 games after back-to-back home defeats against Salford and then against Huddersfield. So they don't go into this game with great form behind them, but as Terry's just said, on the road with 10 wins of 13 in Super League, they are a different prospect. Strange that, when you think how intimidating playing at Hull used to be. And it might come down to that next week, because if it does go to the final round, well, the Castleford Tigers are away at Wigan, and Hull are at home to St Helens, who of course have already collected the league leaders' shield. Here is Gareth Ellis then.
Well, big games next week, Bill, but they've got to focus on tonight's match. Gareth Ellis, he'll try and lead from the front. Albert Kelly will try and create that spark, but I believe it's about the spine for both teams. Halves will nearly always determine the scoreline. We talk about forwards deciding who will win, and backs will decide by how many. But I think in this match, we look at last week, we look at St Helens, who were vulnerable, fatigued after that Challenge Cup. Jake Truman and Jamie Ellis failed to cross that line, failed to create anything really. I'd like to see Jordan Rankin involved more, and Paul McShane, the man who handles the ball more than anything, be at his creative spark best.
Jesse Senilafeo in possession. Peter Matautia then playing the ball. Liam Watts gets a special welcome against his former club. 152 appearances for Hull. A member of the Great Britain performance squad, as announced. And here is Jordan Rankin, but Albert Kelly gets a hold of him. Rankin, another former Hull player, had 2 seasons at the club. Here is Ellis, McMeekin and Matautia, and it's Matautia who puts a little grubber kick in to Shaw, and Shaw picks up and returns, and Matautia gets a hold of him.
Well, had a little look up then on the last play, chose to spin the ball out to the right-hand side. Matautia then nothing in front of him, so kicks it. I think the forwards here will just feel each other out early on in the game. big, powerful pack, Hull FC, a lot of experience, and I'm sure that Darryl Powell, the CAS coach, would have talked about making sure that he can match them up front.
Sika Manu now, another player who's hanging his boots up at the end of the season. 32 years of age, the former Tongan international, captain of the Tongan side at one stage. Oh, Ellis ducks under a welcome from Millington. And then it's with Sneed on the last, hoists the kick under a bit of pressure, still gets it away well. Oh, Griffin was chasing, almost got it, but Rankin gets the ricochet.
Well, good step from Gareth Ellis, then they win the play, goes high in the earth, comes down with Griffin, he just can't take it, and Jordan Rankin, well, he was really good last week. And what Barry was talking about, the spine of both of these sides have got to make sure that every time they're involved, they've got to be influential.
Here is Jesse Seni-Lefeo starting tonight, which is a rarity for him. He's been on the bench for the most part this season. But Darryl Powell introducing him from the beginning. Now then, here is Minikin at pace, but the pass not good, and it forces James Clare off the island.
And you could see what he's trying to do then, couldn't you, Mike McMeekin? He was trying to commit the defender. Does an excellent job, doesn't it? Jack Logan, he's got two attackers in front of him. He's got to be patient, wait till that ball goes. And then with the sideline as his friend, just nudges him over the sideline.
Jack Logan selected tonight ahead of Beretta Faramo, which is one of the selection decisions that Lee Radford has made for tonight's game. So a vote of confidence in 24-year-old Jack Logan.
I think if you look at a couple of recent performances, Farimo was coming up with a couple of simple mistakes, dropping the ball at the play the ball. Here they go wide, almost get around their opponents. And reducing the unnecessary mistakes that Hull have been making is one of the keys to them making this top five.
And there is Logan. And now the danger man, Ratu Nalago, Hull's top try scorer. Scott Taylor. Another of the Hull players in that Great Britain performance squad. Ellis. Ever the enthusiast, Gareth Ellis.
We're here, please. Go, don't push your pop in.
Sneed then on the last hoists the kick. Rankin collects it.
Well, good discipline from Josh Griffin and letting Jordan Rankin catch that ball, making sure his feet touch the ground before he makes contact with him. But Hull FC, and the likes of Gareth Ellis, looking to offload when they go into contact if they get their arm free. And Castleford are looking to move the ball around, aren't they?
And here's Chase Blair, and Blair brought down by Kelly and Nalago, and Jesse Seni-Lefeo looking to offload, but they're taking him to the sidelines, and that's good work.
Always a good sign that when you can hit a man who's carrying the ball, the likes of Jesse Seni-Lefeo, he tries to bump off and ride the first tackle of Albert Kelly. But then when you've got 40 of your teammates that come in, holding Jesse Seni-Lefeo up, not letting him get into ground, there's a bit of panic setting in here from him, knowing that he's going towards the sideline. And that's good defensive attitude from Hull FC.
They'll need that tonight. Well, the black and whites in their blue and black kit.
Well, they always know that when you're defending against Castleford, the outside channels, the likes of Jesse Seni-Lefeo or Mike McMeekin, they are big players, so you've got to make sure you front up out wide.
Here is Josh Griffin. Had a brief spell with the Castleford Tigers earlier in his career to Griffin. Sneed. Mickey Payer now. Payer. 40 metres out. Sneed. Albert Kelly now. Kelly just delays the pass to Shaw. Jake Connor. And Connor. Truman sticks to his guns well there. Kelly. Here is Ellis. Watts makes the tackle. Now Kelly. They're about 10 metres away. Short pass from Kelly. Referee calls held. That's the fifth tackle as Mickey Payer plays the ball, and now Kelly hoists the kick cross field. Now Largo bats it back in field, and it's Chase Blair who gets the ball, but it went forward, says the referee, I think.
That's right. Hand over on the 10 metres, knocked forward.
Well, he jumps for it, it gets above Greg Minikin. As you can see, it lands on the try line in Chase Blair.
Ready, go on.
I think we're going to see some action over on Hull FC's right-hand side there with Connor and Jesse Senning Lefeo. They're already into each other on a couple of the times.
Go, Mickey, quick routes too.
There's Paul McShane. Ellis, a little step from him, and Watts gets the pass away to Rankin, and Rankin is on his own. Millington is steaming up in support. That's not the right choice, says Jordan Rankin, with all respect to the front rower. And here goes Ellis, though. They have the whole defence at 6s and 7s at the moment. They've got the opportunity, and could it be the first try for the Castleford Tigers centre Chase Blair? Has he dropped the ball? He's been waiting all this time to get his first try.
I have a try. Just checking to see if the ball.
Well, he's happy with it, Ben Thaler, but I was the same. I thought he dropped it in his eagerness to try and get the ball grounded. He's one-on-one, isn't it, with Narlango? Let's see. Does he keep control of that ball all the way down? It's gone up as a try.
His hands on the ball, isn't it, as he comes down. I don't think you can see any separation from the ball as it comes down. It is on the side of the ball, but I think given that it's been given on the field, I think there's enough there to give that, to award that try.
Chase Blair has waited 15 games to get off the mark since joining from the Melbourne Storm, and is tonight the night? It is, says video ref Robert Hicks, and a big smile on the face of Chase Blair. 27 years of age, he joined in May. What about that look from Ryan Sherry?
I think he took a big gulp, Chase Blair, and Adam's apple went up and down. Great offload from Liam Watts to Rankin. Really impressed with John Rankin. He's a player that you want to have on the ball. He's an attacking threat every time he has it. They shift the ball over to the left-hand side. And then when the ball is given to Chase Blair, he gets through the attention of Hull FC and gets the ball down. Can this be a further 2 points here now from Jamie Ellis?
Ellis has got the goal-kicking duties tonight, and he's on target with his first attempt. So Blair's try, Ellis with a conversion. The Castleford Tigers lead by 6 points to 0.
There are team things available for Castleford and Hull FC this evening, but that play all started with a Liam Watts push through. He pushed through on the inside, found a lovely, beautiful right-handed offload, and his duel with Scott Taylor, the two number 8s tonight, I think that's a special one to watch. You mentioned them being in the Great Britain squad, Bill. I'm not sure they'll both make the plane. I'm not sure they'll both make the tour. They're in the squad, and from now, they are under the spotlight. So Liam Watts will want to outplay his great friend Scott Taylor.
Truman in possession. It was his fine pass that paved the way for Chase Blair. His reaction was priceless. He's obviously waited. I mean, he has waited, and one or two Cas fans have shunted a bit, but he's contributed, and Daryl Powell's kept faith.
Well, they've stepped up from last week where they made lots of breaks at St Helens, but didn't turn any of them into tries. There was a greater push, a greater urgency, and a great confidence as well there to keep the ball alive, both on the initial break and then through for the try.
Yeah, here is Millington. And they're coming again, the Castleford Tigers. One-handed flip. And it's Chase Blair who gets away from now Largo, and he's really got the scent of the try line now. Here is Rankin. It's Rankin kicking cross field. The ball's loose, batted down, and it's with James Clare.
Hull FC have knocked on, so another head and feed here to Castleford. Well, aren't they playing well? They've got the right attitude. They're offloading at will every time that they go in and get their arms free. They're playing on the front foot. The forwards are getting over the advantage line and making a real dint in the defensive line. And then when the outside backs have the ball, they're causing some problems as well.
It's a lively start from the Castleford Tigers, 6th in the table, needing victory here tonight to squeeze into the top 5, into those playoff places. They've started well, and Jordan Rankin has had a lot to do with this good start, and here he is now, the fullback. Bang in front of those posts. 5 or 6 metres away he is. Watts offloads. Here is Ellis now. Ellis. thumping tackle on him from his namesake Gareth Ellis. Mickey Payer there as well to reinforce it. The ball comes wide to Truman, a little dummy, wonderful, wonderful try from Jake Truman. 2018 Young Player of the Year in Super League. In that Great Britain squad and showing his class with that try. Absolutely spellbinding, and he wrong-footed the whole defence.
Well, we talked about the spine and how important for Castleford. Involvement from Rankin, Truman, Ellis would be, Paul McShane, the number 9 for Castleford Tigers, and you can see their fingerprints all over this try. It comes about from this kick, they get possession, and from the second set of possession, Hull FC stretched defensively. Not enough time to organise, communicate who gets what. It's a beautiful pass from Grant Millington. Out the back goes Jake Truman, who's had a pretty quiet month or two. And there he is, right on the spot. Albert Kelly buys the dummy and he scores the second try for Cass.
It was lovely movement from Grant Millington when he got that ball, and then he tipped it on to Jake Truman. You want him to get the ball, you want him to ask questions of the defence, and he did that, and it opened up for him.
6th try of the season for Jake Truman. And Ellis on target again. And this is the start that Daryl Powell and the Castleford Tigers were hoping for.
It's a brilliant start, isn't it, for the attacking side here in possession, but it's Hull really you've got to worry about here now. What do they do to respond? Conceded 12 points in 12 minutes. Fell away, sadly, in last game against Huddersfield. Who can turn things around? Because at the moment, the Tigers in full control.
There is Jake Truman. So this is going to be a test for the Hull side. Again, defensively, found wanting. They've conceded 33 tries more than their opponents tonight, the Castleford Tigers, in this Super League season. And they do have the habit of when they fall off, they really do, don't they?
I think you've got to go back to June when they played in Castleford, the last time that Hull really played well. It's a long time ago, and the season's riding on this year almost. They've really got to find something special to come from behind and restore some confidence.
Early days, yeah, it's only 14 minutes gone, and they have the players to respond.
They'd be disappointed on conceding 2 tries in the opening 14 minutes, but last week, here we go.
Now Largo, now look at this man go. Look at him go, but he's been tackled into touch. Great work on that Castleford left-hand side.
Well, every time you see him and he gets into open space, you think, right, put it down, he's gone. There's nobody on the field going to catch him. But look at Paul McShane. Those legs, it looks like it's in fast forward. They go in that quick. And he manages to get to him and force the error. That's a great effort from the hooker.
Wonderful work from the number 9. Get back, make that tackle. Lee Radford making a couple of notes. They managed to find the edge, they managed to find a line break, and were it not for the fast bow legs of Paul McShane, they might have got a try out of it.
So, bit of a let-off. Houghton with the tackle on Chase Blair. There's Nathan Massey now. That's a warning, though, to this Castleford Tigers defence. What sort of threats that Ratu Nalago, this Fijian winger that Lee Radford spotted playing Sevens Rugby Union, can bring. Meanwhile, it's Ellis playing the ball. McShane, Watts. Here is Truman once more, then quick hands to Chase Blair once more. Kelly can't get a hold of it now, Largo does. McShane's pass. Truman then kicks into the corner. Jake Connor claims it. Minikin can't get a hold of him, so Jesse Seni-Lafeo is there to assist.
So they're into each other again, Connor and Jesse Seni-Lafeo. Started in the opening couple of minutes of the game.
He does not care how big they are, does he, Jake Connor? He doesn't care how many of them there are, and that often works to his advantage. He distracts and disrupts everybody in the opposition, but he's got to focus on his own game. hold his position, and when he gets the ball, try and do something with it. It was a lovely play, wasn't it? That last set of 6 from Cass. The Cass of old, the Cass of 2017, when they were all so close to winning the first championship title at Old Trafford.
Sneed under pressure from Matautia, gets that kick away. Clare allows it to bounce. Not under any great pressure, the wingman.
Well, Hull FC just try and slow Castleford down here. They've got some decent momentum. Seem to be getting over the halfway line. Then all of a sudden, like Jake Truman, looking to organise. Jesse Seni-Lefeo again involved with Jake Connor.
Here is Adam Milner into the action. 17 minutes gone. Milner coming off the bench. Just only one game of the last 23 as Adam Milner. Oh, Truman has cut right through the middle, right under the sticks. Second try of the night for Jake Truman. That came from nowhere. Hull completely caught napping there. And Jake Truman just shot through their defensive ranks. And before they knew it, he was over the line and extending the Castleford Tigers' lead. It is virtually a point a minute here.
Hey, Bill, Jake Truman, we all know he's a player, he's a runner, he's an outstanding talent when he has his hands on the ball. But this was just too easy. Look at him, he spots a late retreater and he goes at him, he spots the space behind the ruck. You've got to make sure that you get back, you number up, you help your teammates out, and he goes between Mickey Bayer and Sika Manu. And that was just too easy. That whole defence needs to be better. And Castleford at present, 18 minutes gone, 3 tries. They're ripping them apart.
They're playing at a different pace at the minute, Castleford Tigers. The whole of the talk behind the sticks for Hull FC will talk about the ruck speed, slowing Castleford down, not letting them dictate the pace and tempo of the game.
So Ellis should make it 3 from 3 with this conversion attempt. 18-0. The Castleford Tigers lead, coming up to 19 minutes on the clock. I think we've only had now Largo's break that has taken Hull deep into Cass territory. Is that about it?
I would agree, yes. I mean, in the news before this game, Jenny Brooks reported that Jackson Hastings had submitted his paperwork to prove his eligibility for Great Britain. They might not need him if Truman carries on playing like this.
Hull have got to get a grip of this game if they're going to find a way back.
Bill, I'll tell you, if you're defending in the middle of the field, so any time around the play the ball, 3 men either side of the ruck, and someone splits you like that, you've got to take that personal. You can let teams score outside here, yeah, show them the edge, let them have the space. If they come through you up the middle, you're really insulted that they're attacking you there, especially when it's a halfback running at you.
We saw Adam Milner coming on early on in the proceedings. I wonder what the story is behind that. Let's go downstairs, join Jenna Brooks.
Yeah, in fact, Grant Millington, I don't know if you just saw, but he has limped from the pitch. He looks like he's in a lot of pain. He's sitting in the dugout now. I've spoken to the club. They said that it's just a dead leg. They're not too concerned, but we'll see what happens.
So Millington's early involvement pretty brief. Shaw collared by Matautia. And now here's Jack Logan.
Well, Castleford will try and be physical here, get off the line, decent line speed, hold Castleford up, stopping the back 3 to get numbers in, making it slow for Danny Houghton. There's nothing on, just shipping it on.
Griffin.
What would Hull FC give for a Sneed or a Kelly 40-20 here?
Massi Matongo off the bench. He's missed the last 2 games as the Zimbabwean-born forward. Sneed with the kick, but outside his 40, straight down the field into the arms of Greg Minikin.
Difficult for Mark Sneed to find any space. Then the back 3 for Castleford, a drop back, they cut down all his options. No matter what he was trying to do, he knew that he was over the 40, so all of a sudden he readjusts, looking for space, can't find it.
Here's James Clare. Castleford Tigers top try scorer James Clare with 15 in all competitions. Milner plays the ball. Ellis with the kick, drills it across the surface. It sits up nicely for Jamie Shaw, and Shaw, Ellis closes him down. Good work from the fullback though.
It's perfect conditions at this time of year. We've had a little bit of rain. That'll have softened up the track from the brief summer that we did have at the beginning of August, end of July, but conditions are perfect now. Hard surface, short grass, and it'll make running conditions, handling conditions excellent.
Taylor plays the ball. Here is Kelly.
Forward pass.
Forward, says Ben Thaler.
40 metres out from the try line. Yeah, you've got to make sure that you get over the try line.
And they're not getting any joy. When they're running the ball forward, they're getting handled and manhandled by Castleford defensively. Talked about Sneed or Kelly trying to find a 40-20 when Sneed maybe had an open field on the last tackle. Tezzy's right, the two wingers dropped back, the fullback was in his position, so nowhere to go, no sideline available. You'd think the halfbacks and the intellect, the rugby IQ between those two players might say, let's go and tackle 3 or 4.
Bill, a ruthless tiger kills his opponent when he has him really struggling, and that's where the whole side are right now here. They're bleeding heavily here. Can they find the killer bite? One more try, I think. 18 always offers a team hope to come back. And once you got past that, it becomes a very big task.
Well, the whole supporters are trying to lift their side. Defence a bit better this set, but Jesse Seni-Lefeo trying to find the offload there. The whole fans trying to lift their side, but that's a penalty to Castleford. I think that's the first of the game.
Well, Sika Manu, then there's a lot of fight from Jesse Seni-Lefeo. Look, he gets caught on the wrong side of the ruck, Sika Manu. He won't let go. He's fighting for the penalty and to get up and play the ball quickly so Paul McShane can look to link up with his halves. And they go for 2 points here now.
He's been talking this way all week, Daryl Powell, hasn't he, about getting ready for playoffs. Don't worry about next week. We're in the playoffs now. We need to win this week. We need to get what we can next week against Wigan, which is a tough task in itself, but dealing with this game, getting the right mental state and fight for every inch, and that's exactly what Jesse Seni-Lefeo did. He didn't allow Jake Connor to have his way in that wrestle after the play was stopped and the tackle was made.
Jamie Ellis then will try and make it 4 from 4 with this penalty attempt. Ellis, who's had a hit and miss season mainly due to injury, missed 25 games, so he's really only just getting back into the swing of things. The boots working all right tonight. That takes Castleford into a 20-0 lead.
And Mark Sneed and Danny Howland will be disappointed in that set 6. To give a penalty away, a few tackles after they come up with some really strong efforts.
I think
especially Mark Sneed or Mike McMeekin.
They've got to get the ball back here. Oh, well, maybe I'm wrong. I might be out of touch here, but at 20-0, kicking and hoping that you're just going to force your opponents. There is a long time left. I accept that. Long time to score points. But I think it's the flow of the game that they need to change.
So Castleford Tigers hoping to get 5th place in the table and making a pretty good fist of it tonight. This is one of the big issues of this round, and the other one, of course, is who is going to get relegated. And tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Sky Sports Arena, crucial game, 11th placed Hull Kingston Rovers against bottom of the table London Broncos. Can London take their survival battle into the final round? They need to win at Hull Kingston Rovers to do that. 40-20 attempt, but now Largo is back there to pick up. Was that a little?
It looked like it, didn't it? It looked like it. It was a smart kick early in the tackle count from Castleford. And the touch judge, well, he was right on the spot.
He was very hesitant about it, wasn't he?
It looked like he put his hands away, did he? Oh, yeah, a little knock on.
He's got away with one. They need a slice of luck, don't they, Hull FC?
Good spot by me. He's Houghton and Kelly now. Can Hull FC click? Jake Connor is crucial to that. They need to get him into the game, don't they? And yeah. Kelly.
You want to see him running at the defensive line. Last time that they were here, they caused so many problems, both for those players.
Kelly under pressure gets the kick away. There's somebody down. I think it's Adam Milner on his back. Ben Thaler's going to stop the game, I think.
Yeah, he went into that last tackle before the kick, rolled away.
Got the ball, tackle one.
He does play the game hard, doesn't he? Holmes, Milner. Is it Oliver Holmes who just catches him? Little left hook, maybe.
Thanks a lot. We're sitting on the bench together.
It's always that friendly fire. They're the ones that get you. You don't expect them. You brace yourself when you're going in to tackle your opponent. And all of a sudden you think you're there and you cop a cheap one from your teammate.
Is that the sort of thing there's a reckoning at the end of the season do?
On Mad Monday, yeah.
Oliver Holmes had a big game against St Helens last time out. Ollie Holmes did. Milner is back on his feet, but presumably will be assessed. First hiccup tonight, really, for Daryl Powell and his team.
A physical player, isn't he? And Miller brings a lot to this Castleford side. Really does shore up the middle defensively. Offers a lot as well in attack with his strong runs and his nice little twos player with his forwards. And he's carrying the ball.
Castleford very much in control of this game, virtually from the word go. They've had territorial domination, possession they've dominated, and the points to show for it.
Well, the players that are tasked with guiding them around, the likes of Paul McShane and Jake Truman, causing problems, along with Jesse Senni Lafayette and Liam Watts.
Albert Kelly having his hands full. Liam Watts targets him as well.
Yeah, good line. He changed his run then because he saw Danny Alton flying out the line on him.
Now it's with Truman, and Truman gets the kick away. It's a good one, and Logan comes across to claim it.
It's really difficult at the minute for Hull FC. They've got to dig deep. The amount of time Castleford are kicking the ball, and then the task with bringing the ball away from the line. Hull FC's big men are still trying to get behind the ball as we see a mistake.
Twima Harvey has lost possession, only about 15 metres from his own try line, and that's where they are now. Holmes playing the ball. Here's Ellis. McMeekin carving back inside. Tackled by Sneed and Matongo. McShane might fancy it himself. No, gets the pass away. Ellis. Could Truman fancy a hat-trick? No. Ball over the top. Minikin will go for the corner, but that's better defence. Better defence from Hull.
That's a good attitude from Hull FC. An early mistake from the black and whites. Put them under pressure. You see Albert Kelly with lots of traffic in front of him. Probably the most difficult option and the hardest one to convert was passing it to the winger. Now Longo, with 2 or 3 people in front of him, was in all kinds of trouble, and the moment the ball went over his head to the outside player, it made it a little bit easier. But the team in black and white and blue this evening need to find a way of stopping the momentum that Castleford Tigers have got, and I think it's an early kick.
Well, it's something out of the ordinary, isn't it? They've got to maybe throw the playbook away.
Yeah, they've got to change it, haven't they? They've got to react to what's in front of them, try and spot some weakness. If you know and you recognise that there's a leg tackling in front of you, like Paul McShane, brilliant with the ball last week against Saints. He missed 8 tackles. Is he a player you take some of his energy away? Is he a player you try and get over? This will help them. This will certainly help them gain that valuable field position that they're looking for. Offside, then you can see they're not working with the referee. Matauti over here on the right-hand side.
First penalty of the night for Hull FC. Half an hour almost gone, and they've hardly had a sniff of a chance of really testing this Castleford Tigers defence. Could this come now? Connor. Truman with the tackle on Jake Connor. Now Largo gets the pass away. Now it's with Josh Bowden. Off the bench for FC. Here is Kelly now. Kelly, short pass. Matongo stretching for the line and getting it down, I think. The referee has not awarded the try yet, but as Massi Motongo found a way back for Hull FC with his second try of the season.
With lots of action out of the back, the decision to give it to Motongo just foxed the defenders. It ended up giving him a one-on-one with Mike McMeekin. I feel certain that this is a try. He does remarkably well to break the line.
He's short, isn't he?
Well, it's difficult to see on that line. It certainly comes away from his hand as it bounces up, so it's where he gets the ball down, but it only has to touch the line, and the try has been awarded on the field.
Terry, this is going back to last week when we were debating the video referee. Again, another example where it doesn't provide conclusive evidence.
But no referee refereeing for the rest of the season. He's not going to put incidents like this so they can have at least a second, third, fourth look at it, a slow down.
Yeah, I'm opening the debate, Barry. Maybe at the end of the season we'll discuss whether it does enhance the experience for the viewer or the fans here.
Phil, if you're a Hull FC fan and the video referee, Robert Hicks, gives this try, you agree with the video referee. You want the video referee in a game like this.
I think this is the one that shows that it's a try, this one. I think it looks like it gets down on the line. It only has to touch part of the line. It's that one there. That looks like it's on the line.
From this angle?
From this angle. I think there's enough there to give that try. It's been awarded on the field. And I think this will be confirmed.
And it's under the post. This could be crucial if awarded. Massi Motongo, as he's got his second try of the season and given Hull FC a lifeline tonight. That he has on his 51st appearance for the club. Back in the side tonight, and that could be crucial. Sneed adds the extras. They're back in the game.
He does well to change his line, Massi Motongo. And it's a good ball, isn't it, from Albert Kelly. There's a lot going on out the back with Mark Sneed and Jamie Shaw. But he comes onto that crash ball, and he does a decent job. Look, he sets himself, gets rid of Mike McMeekin, has the power and strength to get over the line.
You two were props. You did that run 100 or 1,000 times and didn't get the ball. Motongo's done the same this season, continually put himself into the right position. On one occasion here, he gets the pass, and he's made sure he's got 6 points on the board.
So first real assault on the Castleford Tigers try line on the back of that first penalty that they got, and they've managed to capitalise.
Well, that's that warning light and sign that Darryl Powell will be talking to his team about at half-time. Look, don't give field position away. We worked really hard to get down, and let's defend. Let's make sure that we're clinical in defence and don't give them a leg up. Hull FC have got so many strike players in their side that they will score some points.
Here's Kelly, Sneed, Griffin now. Josh Griffin, a potent attacking force, playing though in a second row role tonight.
That's probably his future. He's developed, hasn't he? He's a bigger, stronger player than he was when he first came into our sport as a winger, then developed into a centre. And the back row, I think, will utilise the strengths that he's got better.
It's Jordan Rankin playing the ball, and now James Clare, and a bit more enthusiasm in the Hull defence and driving the Castleford winger back.
They've got a hunt as a team here. We've saw Scott Taylor fly out the line looking for a shot. Danny Houghton, Mark Sneed, hunting numbers, and they're forcing Castleford backwards here.
Well done, Josh Bowden. Offloading, he ended up making the tackle. They are trying to take metres away from Cass every time they cart the ball up. Just 17 metres made so far.
4 tackles gone. Here's Matt Cook back in the side tonight after 6 games out with a throat problem. The kick from Ellis straight into the arms of Jack Logan, and Logan set off towards the Castleford line and then realised that it was just a wall of Tigers defenders.
It was a poor kick, that, from Jamie Ellis. He wasn't under any pressure. I was looking at the markers, seeing if they'd get out and pressure him from the inside. They didn't do that. So to get that sort of kick away wasn't the play that you're looking for.
Scrambling from Jamie Shaw, wrestling his way to his feet. Now here's Mark Minicello, another one who's hanging his boots up come the end of this season, age 37, 18 seasons in the pro game. Bowden.
Your Mark Sneed here, you'd look for the high attacking kick, wouldn't you? 7 minutes to go to half-time.
Well, he drills that one into the ground. It sits up for Jordan Rankin.
Bill, the reason why I say you go high in the air, you're 30 metres from Cassie's line. Put it up in the air, make it a contest. Put Jordan Rankin under some pressure at the back. You kick it into the ground. You make it easy for him. You try and turn the screw here now defensively. You work hard. See Matauti gets through the line, looking for the offload. He gets it away, but it's a mistake. It's a mistake that Hull FC are looking for, and they have it.
Shot clock is on.
It was good work, wasn't it, from Hull FC? The new player in 39, Sartai, trying to lend his weight. You see him, it's the last second, as Matauti in his sights. There's the ball dislodged.
Should be play on, really, shouldn't it? I know the ref's got a tough call.
Yeah, it looked like he passed it backwards, yeah.
Could be a good break, this, for Hull FC then. Head and feed, 40 metres from the Castleford Tigers line. Here is Sneed. Now, Carlos Tuimavave. We've seen her come back from 20-0 down on this ground before this season. It was Wigan who were 20-0 up. Cass were trailing, and they turned it around to win 38-28 back in April on this very pitch. Now then, can the boot be put on the other foot, so to speak? Coming up to the last 5 minutes of the first half. 20 points to 6 at the moment, and Kelly, he loves to do that. But Holmes with the tackle, but they're pressing here. Mutongo ships the ball onto Sneed. Oh, cheeky from Sneed, but Shaw just took his eye off the ball.
The big word from Lee Radford before the match was execution. That's a perfect example of not executing right. Mutongo scored the first try for his side, and putting myself in the mind of Mutongo, he can see the defender in the Castleford Tigers shirt, Ellis, come out of the line. He doesn't know whether to pass it. He thinks, I'll pass it back a little bit further than what I would do. Don't put it in front of the player, which was Mark Sneed, and it ended up too far behind. He flicked it, and then the mistake comes from Jamie Shaw. Perhaps would have been better served keeping hold of that ball than Mutongo.
Opportunity goes begging for Hull FC, but that's great defence from Kelly.
Great shot, Albert Kelly. You know you can hunt in attack. Yeah, he's good with the ball, but defensively as well. He's solid, isn't he? He goes in, he whacks him. You can see he plants his feet and launches himself into Clerk. Gives himself every opportunity against the man who's got the momentum going forward, carrying the ball. He's got a whack in him, all right, Kelly.
When you watch it on the other angle, it does look like he tries to find the offload, James Clare. Sometimes you got to take your medicine, take the tackle, and do the thing for the team.
Sneed's pass goes behind Shaw, and they've lost the advantage there. Well, lost a good deal of the advantage. They've still got possession, but they've gone backwards.
Yeah, you've got to make sure you get them right, because the next carry like Mutongo here, he's got to reload, he's got to get back, and then the next one he's going to get whacked a bit.
And the Castleford defence is now realigned, and then the ball goes to ground anyway.
The outside defenders from Castleford are doing a decent job. We saw Jamie Ellis when he forced a mistake a minute ago. He comes in, he makes the right option. Again, they're shooting in, they're wedging in. The options for the man who's carrying the ball, Mark Sneed, is in two minds. Does he hit the lead runner, or does he go out the back? He hits the lead runner, and Josh Bowden loses it. Some urgency in defence from Paul McShane and his teammates.
Frustration for Hull then. They had back-to-back sets there, courtesy of their opponents, and they weren't able to profit from it. And half-time approaching, they still trail 20 points to 6. They've looked more like it in the last 10-15 minutes, really.
Yeah, the opening 20 minutes, they didn't look at the races, did they? It was going to be a big night for them. And Albert Kelly, if you've got an attacking player that wants to defend, they're always good signs. In the last 17 minutes, Hull FC seemed to get their act together.
Oh, Daniel Smith put it down. Castleford are inviting Hull back into this game at the moment. Here is Tuimavave skipping across field, a leggy centre.
And what was it that forces the edit? It's Danny Houghton getting off the line and getting in the eye line of Daniel Smith. Anyone can catch a ball under no pressure, but it's when the defence is up on you.
Tavita Satai with the pass, known as Chris, the new signing.
Here he goes, look at him, along with Mark Minicello.
Here is Minicello, making his 137th Hull appearance, which was pretty incredible, given that he was 33 years old when they signed him. Sneed. Here is Chris Satai, and he could have got more points. Has he got that down? He's held up.
Well, Jake Truman does a tremendous job to get on the Satai, who scatters a couple of players. And look at his body position. When he gets over the line, Satai, he's looking at getting the ball down. And because of the body position of the youngster Truman, he saves a try. Look at him coming in to lend his weight, get underneath, slide his legs, so his body goes underneath the ball. Big play.
Blood on the head of Jake Truman after that collision. So not only has he scored 2 tries, but he's really defended heroically as well. Outstanding first 40 minutes from Jake Truman. And keeping Satai at bay, making his 3rd Hull appearance, the former New Zealand Warrior, and he must have thought he'd got more points for his new club.
He ends up clashing heads, doesn't he, with his fullback, Jordan Rankin, but not at any point is he thinking of anything else, just don't let the big fella put the ball down.
Well, they haven't finished yet. Sneed quickly on. Oh, Griffin does manage to keep a hold of it. Balletic performance from Griffin to keep a hold of that. Here is Sneed once more. Satai fancies another chance. He's lost that ball, I think. In fact, McShane's come up with it. And the referee says it is a knock-on.
Every time he's had the ball, he's either bust a tackle or 2, or looked to offload it, Satai. He's certainly made a difference since he's come onto the field for Hull FC. But the Castleford Tigers, smart players that they are, they've recognised what he's got in his locker. A new player to our competition, of course. And Paul McShane, as most hookers will do, just when they get in front of a big man, just make yourself a nuisance around the ball, and he ends up losing control.
And that is the final action of an intriguing first 40 minutes. Jake Truman with 2 of the Castleford Tigers' 3 tries as they took a grip on this game in the opening quarter. Daryl Powell always knew that it wasn't going to be plain sailing, and that try on the half hour from Masi Matongo, coming off the bench to make an impact, has at least given Hull FC some encouragement as they head for the dressing rooms here at the Mender Hose Jungle. Hull looking to ensure their top 5 place. Castleford looking to keep their hopes of making the playoffs alive. All to play for in the second half.
Well, England's final Rugby Union International before heading to Japan is live on Sky Sports. Action tomorrow at 7 p.m. at St James's Park, Newcastle. The opposition, Italy. We'll switch codes from Rugby Union to Rugby League. And at round 28 of the Betfred Super League at half-time, it is a healthy 14-point lead for the home side, the Castleford Tigers. 20 points to 6 to the good over Hull FC. Let's take you through the stats from the first 40 minutes. The glaring one, if you're a Hull FC fan, is just a 50% completion rate. Courtesy, you would think, of 9 handling errors in that first 40 minutes. They have had 18 sets, Castleford 19. A drop ball costing Hull FC dearly. Right, we'll take you into the dressing rooms and we'll bring in our guests for the evening, interim coach of the Leeds Rhinos, Richard Agar. I want to start by asking you, as a coach, how difficult it is to get a succinct message across to those players in this short period at half-time.
Yeah, short period of time. I think a lot of the time it's keep it simple and keep your messages down to 1 or 2 points on attack, 1 or 2 points on defence. Try and pick some individuals up or some little units in there. Occasionally, you might need to bring the famed hairdryer out and strip the paint off the walls, like what's probably going on in the other dressing room at this moment in time.
No, this man can drag a hairdryer out.
Yeah, he can, and they're probably feeling a little bit of that now. But I think generally is try and keep it simple and keep a narrow focus so the boys can try and fix up 1 or 2 areas.
Well, they got plenty to fix up, Hull FC. They have got that 1 try at half-time, or in the first half, to Massimo Tonga to show for 40 minutes of action. Let's get through that first 40 minutes. Yeah. Castleford Tigers cutting Hull FC open rather easily early enough in that game to lead to Chase Blair's first try.
Yeah, I think what happened with Castleford is they came out on game plan, so they wanted to move the ball really early. I thought what were really noticeable were after they moved the ball, regardless of how many metres they made on the play, were the retreat from Hull. Hull's middle forwards were struggling to retreat, and as we saw on this play, just giving the Castleford pivots more time to play on the next play. This time, finding the space on the edge. This one, we're looking at Truman showing and going on Albert Kelly. Sikamano's lateral movement getting tested, a great pick from the young half. And again on this one, after a little bit of ball movement, catching those big forwards, not quite getting their position, their retreat and their effort out from back.
Well, we said Truman and Ellis needed big halves. Ellis 3 successful conversions after those tries, kicked a penalty. Hull FC got themselves back into the game with a Massimo Tonga try awarded by the video referee. A little bit of conjecture about this one, whether or not he had bounced the ball. Video referee happy to go with the referee's on-field call. And then a late try. This is brilliant defence from Truman. Yeah, try save, I should say.
Great defence, such a big guy, good on his feet, and to get him under him, we're talking about the pivots on Hull before the game and their experience in these situations, but Jake Truman's dominated this half of football.
OK, last time they met here at the Mendenhall Jungle in June, the game was dominated by Hull FC. It's gone the other way, and the Castleford Tigers in a must-win game to keep their season alive lead at half-time. We can go to John Wells at the touchscreen for the first time this evening to take us through his moment of that first 40 minutes. John.
Yeah, the half-time focus, Richard Agar said it, that Jake Truman has dominated that first 40 of football. The Castleford Tigers have been shorn of their star half in Luke Gale. He's not played a minute of this season, and this man's had to step up, and he's had some real moments in this first 40 minutes. I'm going to take you through a couple of them now and look at his impact and what he does, how he affects that defensive line. So it's all off the back, as we said, about retreating defence. It's retreating defence. Well, there's 2 things. There's one that's fatiguing there, and there's 2, there will be a genuine lack of communication with these guys because they're not going to have time to talk to one another and assess which man is whose in defence. This ball comes out to Jake Truman. It's a real subtle movement. So on the catch, here's Truman. Just look at what he does on the catch and what the effect that has, particularly on the man who's filling in at centre here, Ratu Nolongo. Just ever so slightly, really succinct, but it's that straighten. The straighten and the pass off the inside foot stops that sliding defence and gives Chase Blair the room to go over and score his first try. The second one, again, off a break, and the Hull defence looking to reassess and readjust themselves. Late movement around the back of the ruck there from Scott Taylor, but it's some great pre-play here. Grant Millington moving out, but 2 really good lead line runs. The first there from Nathan Massey, the second here. This is an even better one there. That's a really honest line that has to be accounted for Sikamanu. Crucially as well, it goes through the line. At this point, Albert Kelly's been held on Jesse Senilafeo. Have a look at the overchase here. And this is what I like about Jake Truman. You're going to see it here, and it's that willingness and that ability to override a temptation to go through with a pre-planned play. You're going to see a better example of it here, because as Truman sees Sikamanu on the floor, he's had a little peek at him here. There's Sikamanu. This is Jake Truman again, and Sikamanu is going to have to come back around the ruck as the last man and fill in this sort of area here. Now have a look at what he does off the back of that. So there's already a play here. There's something going on in the background. There is an option for Jake Truman to play into that channel, as they have been doing all that first half. But it's that ability to override and play what's in front of you, play what you see, ignore the pre-planned play. If you see something that's a better call, that willingness to go with it, and the best halves do that. And Jake Truman's fast established himself as one of the best halves in Super League. So there's the attack. 1 try assist, 2 tries in 40 minutes, also a really important try saver on 38 minutes. That's really significant because when you looked at the stats, Brian, and you saw that Hull FC's completion rate was around 50%, that won't be at 50% at full time, not with the ability of Mark Sneed there in the halves. So they're going to have to, I think, protect a lead now because Hull FC will be coming.
Protect the lead and secure a playoff place, or sorry, a chance to get a playoff place in round 29. You've got a short message to give to the Castleford players. If you're their coach, what would it be?
Get back to plan, keep moving the ball with the aim of going through them.
Hull FC?
50% ball control, and that defensive effort's probably going to get us smoked.
Yeah, well, if they don't win this one at Hull FC, you think they will need to beat St Helens in round 29. Claw back a 20 points to 6 deficit here at the Mendehoes Jungle, or beat the league leaders. Pick your poison. We got the second half from this round 28 clash, the Betfred Super League, with Bill and the boys on the way after this break.
Tedesco pouring through a hole. Melbourne dominating. Bateman's over to score. Here's Hodgson. This is Whitehead. Oh, great tackle. Sam Burgess. George has got straight through them. And here's Thomas.
The NRL Grand Final is coming up Sunday the 6th of October here on Sky Sports. Who will be there? Well, it's the final round of regular season fixtures coming up in the next few days. These are all crucial games in who finishes where. At 9 AM on tomorrow, in fact, Sky Sports action for Parramatta against Manly. Saturday, Canterbury, Brisbane, 8:30 on Sky Sports Mix. And Sunday, West against Cronulla, 5 AM, Sky Sports Mix for that one. 3 crucial games. Crucial second half coming up here. Never mind the NRL playoff places. This is about the top 5 in the Betfred Super League. Who gets 5th place? Castleford looking to take it to the final round in the Northern Hemisphere competition. And at the moment, they are on course for that, leading 20 points to 6. At home at the Mendehoes Jungle against this Hull FC side, who have come to life, though, Terry.
Well, they need to push it, don't they? They finished the final 15 minutes of the first half strongly. Defensively, they were good. They were asking questions in attack as well. But they've got to make sure that they slow the likes of Mike Meekin and his teammates down. And they've got over the halfway line in just 4 players. Paul McShane looking around, looking to link up.
Here's Daniel Smith now.
5th tackle, back with me, hold who?
For the Castleford Tigers, who are about 40 metres out as Ellis lofts the kick towards Jamie Shaw, the fullback, claims that comfortably. Unflustered Shaw.
He's dynamic at the back, isn't he? You've got to make sure that you
dear
get hold of him, but there's the first mistake from them.
Truman chase Blair now. Blair bumps off the first. Gets the pass away to Truman. Truman for a hat-trick right at the start of the second half. Jake Truman makes it 3. And the Castleford Tigers get a dream start after the break. And a catastrophic error for Hull FC. And Daryl Powell's team look like taking this battle for the 5th place to the last weekend of the regular season.
You're behind by 14 points. You've just come out of the changing rooms. And the coach would have said, make sure we start well. You don't need to throw that ball 20 metres from your line, at the line that's going to put you under pressure if you make a mistake. And Logan looks to tip onto Motongo, who does offer himself, but all of a sudden then, as soon as you make the mistake, you've got to defend. They can't do that. Cass looked to shift the ball, and the man of the moment, Jake Truman, he's having a field day, isn't he? The exceptional talent like he is, sees the space, goes in behind, and it's a poor start for Lee Radford and his team.
Well, Hull's skill doesn't match its ambition, does it? That's the problem they've got at the moment. And Matt Minicello was absolutely furious behind the post. He's every right to be. They worked hard for that last 10 minutes of the first half to build themselves back into this game. But that's a massive blow here now. 2 more points added to that. 26-6, back where they were half an hour ago.
Ellis converts, and Hull FC have got to do it all again. Well, I wonder what the coaches were saying at half-time, because that's probably ripped up the Hull FC form book. Jenna.
Yeah, thanks very much, Bill. Lee Radford said game management was very poor in that first 30. Defensively, they were poor, and they must limit silly errors, which perhaps they need to take more attention to his message at half-time. As far as Daryl Powell goes, he was really happy, particularly with that first 30 minutes. He did say that he expected Hull FC to come out firing, and he's extremely impressed with Jake Truman, and I'm sure more so now.
Thanks, Jenny. Yes, you're right. Lee Radford grimacing there as that restart goes out on the full. And Hull FC have started the second half really with gifts for their hosts. The Truman try, the kick out on the full, and they could pay a heavy price. Here is Daniel Smith then. They're back under their own posts are the Hull defenders. McShane's pass, short ball, and Holmes is trying to get over. So close there. McShane once more. Truman's short pass to Jesse Seni-Lafayette. That's the 5th tackle. McShane, little grubber kick from him. Oh, it could be a try for Daniel Smith. Ben Taylor again has gone to the video ref. He reckons it's a try as Daniel Smith got his 2nd of the season. He got his first Castleford try against Salford in June, as he got his 2nd for the club since his move from the Huddersfield Giants.
Well, he's put himself in the frame. He knows exactly what Paul McShane is going to do. He's a lateral run. He's trying to drive defenders. Wrong foot, Jamie Shaw. And the question is all on the grounding. Does Dan Smith manage to get to the ball and ground it? And the referee, who stood right in front, in fact, Dan Smith has to run round the referee to get to it.
He gets it down, Barry. Does he?
Sure?
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Sure?
Wow, no, he doesn't. I thought he got that down.
Yeah, it looks like he's knocked the ball on as he comes through. He's certainly got a touch to it, but I can't see a grounding in that. Even though the referee's given that on the field, I think there's sufficient evidence there to overturn the on-field decision. It's not grounded, that.
I think I've gone with the sell from Daniel Smith when he gets up and sells it to the referee, Ben Fairley. And I think he falls for it as well.
So it's his fault. You thought it was a try and it wasn't. Right, okay.
What about the skill and what about the kick from Paul McShane?
Yeah.
No, that was class.
Fantastic
Hicks is still looking at this.
That's not a try.
It's surely not going to be awarded. That would have been just rubbing salt in Hull FC's wounds. If that had been awarded, it's not going to be. And that's the first thing that Hull fans have had to cheer about since Massi Matongo's try.
Well, Daryl Powell knows that there's maybe a chance going to miss a brilliant kick from Paul McShane, but Dan Smith just couldn't get down. Hull FC now, the players need to take ownership of their own performances here. It's not down to the coach when you force the ball, you make an error, you come up with a bad judgment. You've got to make sure you stand up now. If you're a Hull FC player and you're a senior player, put your hand up.
And there's a knock-on from Danny Houghton. And you've got to control your anxiety as well. 45 minutes almost on the clock. Your team is behind by 20 points. I've no doubt in my mind when Jack Logan forces that pass to his front rower, Matongo, he's trying to make something happen for his side. And you can see that one of the most reliable players in the Hull FC side makes an uncharacteristic mistake.
This is the table then, with the Castleford Tigers in 5th place, assuming they go on and win this game, ahead on substantial points difference from Hull FC. So Hull drop out of the top 5, the way things stand at the moment. And we go to the final round to see who will take that 5th spot, with Castleford away to Wigan and Hull FC hosting St Helens. Here is Holmes. So then there's more pressure coming on this whole defence, and pressure coming on the whole defence by their own making, really. They've just contributed to their own problems at the start of this second half. And the mountain could get even taller now because Smith's having another go. Denied once, he almost burrowed through on the last. Truman's pass, Rankin quickly on. It was Minikin who couldn't take the pass, well, it wasn't really a pass.
Well, quick hands. The pass goes forward from Jordan Rankin. He was under some pressure. Speaking of being under pressure, this Hull FC side now are under pressure. They're going to struggle. They've got these low-risk players. Do they force the ball? Do they look to shift it? Have they got to earn the right to play?
And the answers?
I think they've got to earn the right to play. I think they've not done the decent thing with the ball. They've not respected the ball.
Here's Chris Sartai. Thought he'd got his first ever career try in that first half. He didn't manage one in his brief NRL career with the New Zealand Warriors. Couldn't get the ball down. How that would have helped on the stroke of half-time. Here he is again. He's a big guy. He's run strongly since he's come on the field. He was looking for somebody there, and the whole fans down below us are getting a little bit frustrated. Now Largo pats the ball back, all the way back, almost to the halfway line. Still on the last, and it's Sneed who just thumps that ball down the field and into the arms of Peter Matautia.
Well, that probably just sums it up from Hull FC, doesn't it? When the ball's tapped back, there's nobody there in support. All of a sudden, they have to kick the ball. They've got to hurry back. And Lee Radford, well, he'll be pulling his hair out. Obviously, would have the captain's run yesterday. They would have thought they turned up with the right plan, what they wanted to do, who they wanted to target, where they think that they could have some joy.
Meakin plays the ball. Rankin, here is Milner back in action after that head knock in the first half. Chase Blair really invigorated, having broken his Castleford Tigers duck with that first half try. Holmes. That's the fifth tackle. And it's Ellis who puts that one in the air. And it's Shaw who is underneath it once again.
We'll just look at the end of sets for both sides. When Castleford get to last tackle, they put it up high, they pressure the receiver from Hull FC, and we saw on the previous set when Mark Sneed, under pressure, just simply catches the ball and kicks it anywhere. The rhythm of the game, as it was for large parts in that first half, being controlled by Castleford, gaining more metres, and they began the first half with 50% completions. The black and whites of Hull FC, and they're a bit less than that already.
Little skip from Kelly. Oh, lovely ball. Finds Jake Connor. Connor. Lovely pass. And now Largo. Now Largo weaving his way through, gets the pass away to Shaw, but it's Milner who comes up with it. And it's Jesse Seni Lafeo who carts his way upfield. Minikin is brought down. And the referee, chaotic, hair-em, scare-em.
It really is the Truman Show tonight. He can't do anything wrong, can he? Throws it to your opponent and still gets it back, wipes it to 6 more plays.
And now they could counter. They could come here. Matautia coming back infield. Here is James Clare. Strength from the wingman. Crowd like that from James Clare. Ellis. Here is Daniel Smith. Shown up well since coming on. Just about 20 metres out now. McShane. Here's Milner. Milner, little dummy. Crowd thinking he was taken high by Bowden. McShane's pass. Here is Ellis now. Ellis kicks ahead. They will get the ball back. No, knock on, says the referee.
But they're asking questions, aren't they? Back end of set. McMeekin chasing up, following Jamie Ellis's little grubber kick. Here's some offload, and You feel that Hull FC need to throw caution to the wing, put themselves in a position to support the ball carrier, but as Cass have done all night, they get in between that and ruin it.
Well, the last time Hull FC were here, them three players in particular did a number on Cass, didn't he? Albert Kelly, Malago, Jake Connor, they are not having it their way today, though.
Here's Jack Logan. Now Danny Houghton, Kelly, and Kelly is really going to be key if they're going to find a way back, but Castleford determined that he won't repeat his hat-trick feat that he came up with on his last visit to this ground.
Nice hit from Chase Blair on Kelly.
He's had a good night tonight as Chase Blair. Bowden plays the ball. Here is Griffin. They've kept a close eye on Josh Griffin. That's a towering kick. Minikin is looking at it. Oh, and he's got now Largo bearing down on him. He did well there.
It's a lonely place when that ball goes up in the air, whether you're a winger or you're a fullback. You know you're going to be under pressure. As soon as that ball starts coming down, you know that you're going to be hit either on contact or just after contact.
26-6. Then the Castleford Tigers lead. Jake Truman has got three of their tries with that pass. Blair put the mockers on him as he's coughed up possession. And now Largo has it back.
Well, if Hull Heart and Mountain come back, this has got to be it. Start setting the opposition half. We don't have many of those today. We've got to put some points on the board here now. You've got to take some risks.
Here they come now. It's Shaw. Tuimavavi carving his way back in field. Milner Massey. And McShane as ever doing the tackling. Houghton, change of direction. Ooh. And Scott Taylor grits his teeth. And Ellis and McMeekin do the tackling. They're that close to the line. Taylor not impressed with the tackle. Sneed on for Kelly. Kelly just runs into a posse of Tigers defenders. Bang in front of those posts. 4 tackles gone. Houghton's pass. Mickey Paya quickly pounced on. Matongo it was, and Houghton. Sneed has to kick cross field. The ball is claimed by Connor, and Connor is looking for the try line. Gets the pass away. Oh! It's Chase Blair who ends up in possession. Surely if he'd straightened up, the try was there for Jake Connor. It's easy to say from up here.
Yeah, it's the reaction on what's in front here and the panic with the scoreboard. Is Rankin
taking on Shaw. Rankin with the handoff. Shaw sticks to his guns. That's why he's in the Great Britain squad. Jamie Shaw, last line of defence. But then he's sent to the sin bin by Ben Thaler for just delaying that too long.
As if it wasn't difficult enough for Hull FC. Jamie Shaw, who probably in the back of his mind knows he's running the risk. He cuts down Jordan Rankin after that break, and the pleasing thing for Darryl Powell and Castleford will be the players around the ball denying such a threat in Jake Connor, the number 14 for Hull FC. He's looking at the line, he's nowhere to go. The break is made. It's an excellent job done, fullback on fullback, and you can see the two players there maybe having a little chat, a little whisper in one another's ear. Look at the players here flooding forward. Holmes, Minikin and Chase Blair. Well, he's not had a perfect night. He's dropped one ball, but other than that, he's had a pretty decent outing, hasn't he, Chase Blair?
So Jamie Shaw, one of their better performers tonight, is in the sin bin, and there he is.
And I think as soon as there's a penalty in that situation, the referee's got no option but to send him to the sin bin.
Well, this could be costly. This could be costly, because here's McMeekin. They're trying to drive him to the sideline and doing a good job, but McMeekin is now putting it into reverse. Eventually breaks free. Clare sweeps the ball out. Ellis onto Milner. Milner, quick, snappy passing. Here is Truman. Not 4 from Truman, no. Gives himself up there. coming up towards the hour mark here, and it's really just been all about the Castleford Tigers in this second half, looking for more points, and they're in a good position to do that. Rankin's kick, well, that was neat from Tuimavave, and now Logan has got clear field ahead of him, but Meakin is chasing, Milner is chasing, but nobody is going to catch him, and Logan's run to the line has given Hull FC another glimmer of hope. Ben Thaler has no hesitation awarding that Jack Logan's 4th try of the season. Is this a lifeline?
Great speed from the young man and great reaction after making that mistake just after half-time, forcing the pass, forcing the issue. I'm delighted to see him get a long run at the line. Great signs for Castleford Tigers. Look at the cast players in the frame. I think there was 5 players, 6 players chasing back, trying to cut the angle down, but quality and credit where it's due. Jack Logan, 70, 80 metres run to the line, puts it down, and the Hull FC side now collectively getting together. Have they got enough belief that they can come back and score those 16 points?
Logan's 4th, his other 3 in fact came in the one of the Hull Derby games earlier in the season. And he was in the right place at the right time, and Sneed is on target. 26-12. All hope not lost.
No, when you aren't playing well, you need an element of luck and a degree of skill, and that try was both of those factors there, all rolled into one. He did well with the skill of kicking the ball, and then he put it on a plate, didn't he, for the winger. We've got just over 20 minutes here now to stage what would be a remarkable comeback and an amazing victory here. They haven't looked like a top 5 side for several weeks. How they finish in these last 20 minutes, whether they win or not, has in my opinion, a massive bearing on what happens in 2019 for this blue and black side tonight.
But here's Scott Taylor and flung himself into the tackle there, and Meakin and Dan Smith stood their ground. And here is Josh Griffin. The top 5 is the target for these two sides. Castleford win and they stay alive in that contest. Hull win, they take 5th and see off the Tigers. Don't want to use parliamentary type language, but it is a must-win game as opposed to what they might say elsewhere in these circumstances.
It certainly is, but this managing to get through the tackles, land on the front. Anytime you see a hooker go from dummy half, that means that you've won the previous play. Respect possession and the position of the field and make sure you do the hard stuff.
Clare is under the ball, he's taken, immediately he collects it. It was Logan with the tackle. Here is Matautia.
Right, defensive attitude here now, get your feet close, look to dislodge the ball. You'd be looking for those dual hits. As soon as the man who's getting the ball gets anywhere near the pass from Paul McShane, make sure you do the hard stuff.
Well, talking about doing the hard stuff, Liam Watt's back on the field. This is his first run since an extended break here. They tend to look stronger here when he comes back.
Ellis drills the ball down the sideline, and it's Sneed covering in that full-back position. Remember, they've cut the deficit with Jamie Shaw in the sin bin.
And that kick from Jamie Ellis was looking for the sideline then. It doesn't find touch. He knows that Hull FC with that try now got a bit of a spring in the step.
Here is Carlos Tuimavave, his quick thinking set up that try for Jack Logan, collecting the ball and getting the pass off quickly. Here's Josh Bowden now. His first ever Hull try, Josh Bowden. He hasn't scored that many, but his first ever Hull try was against the Castleford Tigers back in 2013, a game they won 52-0. Well, this is a long way from that. Kelly stumbling as he put the kick in, and it's Minikin who collects.
Well, looking to take on the Castleford line then, Albert Kelly. He gets the kick away, he was under some pressure. And again, it's Danny Houghton, the number 9 for Hull FC, that's leading the charge, that's getting up quick.
Into the final quarter then. 26-12. And another Hull try, and conversion. And, we really have got a scrap on. Is Massey. Runs into Bowden's tackle. Milner. Watts is there, but his former colleagues at Hull FC are there to greet him. Slowly to his feet, and there might be an element of slowness about the Castleford Tigers in the final quarter. They don't need to be in a rush.
What a kick. He's got a great kicking game, hasn't he? Jake Truman takes control on the last tackle. The way he held the ball, I thought for a second he was going to put it high. He saw the space around about the try line, and it's inch perfect, isn't it? They've done the little things far better than their opponents, Castleford Tigers, whether it's been kick pressure, whether it's been getting back defensively, and we saw that try from Jack Logan. Castleford Tigers putting themselves in the frame. Their attention to detail throughout this match has been spot on. Here we go.
Watts winds up. Oh, and Kelly stands his ground. Minicello there as well. Doesn't want to bow out at the end of his career by missing out on the playoffs, Mark Minicello. Kelly again throwing himself into the tackle on Holmes. They don't want to allow Castleford Tigers to get on the scoreboard again. Then the game might be beyond them if they do. But here is Truman trying to engineer that. Rankin's pass. Blair. Oh, Blair was trying round the corner but couldn't get it away to Minikin. And Hull have it back.
Yeah, he was looking for that offload around the back of Jake Connor. We saw him do that last week at Saints. Again, Cast working really hard here. And there's a penalty for Hull FC.
Is that a trip, Stuart?
No, he's kicked the ball out of the ruck. It was an exaggerated action by the referee, I think, but he's kicked the ball out of the ruck as he comes up there.
He's next on Strictly.
He makes the right decision, doesn't he, Minicello? Mark Minicello knows he's been tackled, so his main focus is to play that ball quickly. And Paul McShane, sneaky, cheeky, scheming player he is, tries to kid the referee.
Here is Gareth Ellis now, over 450 career appearances. He had actually retired earlier this season and was persuaded to pull the boots back on. Hull Kingston Rovers against the London Broncos coming up tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Sky Sports Arena. Can London take it to the final weekend? Can they do as they did last year when they surprised everybody in the £1 million game? McMeekin and Bowden tussling, and McMeekin is penalised, former London player.
I think he's complaining that he was hit as Josh Bowden. Does he strike out? Does he hit him with the boots when he's lying on his back? He certainly took exception, didn't he? Gareth Ellis leading the charge here, looking to get to centre field.
Made his Super League debut in 1999 as a Wakefield player, did Gareth Ellis. And here he is, still going strong, still hoping to help Hull FC over the finishing line as far as the playoff places go. But they have got work to do.
I'm pretty sure as well he's a Castleford Lock Lane amateur earlier. In 1892, whenever it was.
Here is Albert Kelly. Kelly just dodges away from the Milner tackle. Houghton, Griffin now. Is this the time for Josh Griffin to spark into life? Almost finding way through. Ellis and Matautia with the tackling. To Mavavi for Sneed. Sneed will kick on the fourth. Cross field. Connor claiming he was impeded by Chase Blair.
They didn't go for that ball then. Jamie Shaw, is he just about to come back onto the field now, give him the full complement, 13 players. So they certainly look like they got the bit between the teeth, Hull FC. They've been physical in defence.
Here is Ellis now. And Gareth Ellis, as ferocious as ever in that tackle. Matt Cook evades the first challenge. Hull aren't giving this one up without a scrap. Truman will kick. Straight down the field, it's a good one. It's over the head of Shaw, into the corner.
And still finds the grass,
What
and
a
still
kick.
finds the
What a
distance. Well, I'm not picking man of the match tonight, but I reckon I know who it is. all-round display from Jake Truman.
Hat-trick, match-saving tackle potentially.
Game management.
Let me tell you, lads, you're not going to influence my decision on who I'm going to give man of the match to.
I'm not saying that, I'm just saying Jake Truman has been outstanding and will win man of the match, Tez.
Here's now Largo. Hull FC running out of time if they're going to change the course of this game. Bowden, that's the 5th tackle. The ball is with Ellis, who's having to do the kicking.
Which, with all due respect to that legend of the game, Gareth Ellis, he's not the one who you want kicking the ball. They've got enough players out there, the likes of Shaw, Kelly, Sneed, and Danny Houghton, not Gareth Ellis.
Clare hounded down. Scott Taylor among the tacklers, Josh Bowden in there as well, but they're looking weary now, the whole side, because they've had to do a lot of defending and a lot of work to try and get back into this game, and they've done it for 10 minutes with only 12 men on the field, and Holmes has skipped away from the first challenge. Gareth Ellis is in there again. Watts. Who's Ellis once more? Truman. Another good kick from Jake Truman.
And that's just mixing the kicking game up from Jake Truman. When he looks to keep the ball in field, he knows that that next set is going to be a big, big defensive play. When he comes up with kicks like that, he's quite happy to slow the game down to their pace, just challenge Hull FC down near their own line, and Darryl Powell knows what a real talent he's got in Jake Truman.
Well, Lee Radford questions his halfbacks, didn't he? Mark Sneed, Albert Kelly. We got the messages from the sideline from Jenna Brooks. He was trying to get them to focus on game management. Well, he's managed this game all the way through, Jake Truman.
Here's the Fijian winger, Ratu Nalango. There's Luke Gale, anxious on the sidelines with the other injured Castleford Tigers players. Shawley's back. So the full complement out there now. But the clock against them. Griffin, way out of play, had to try it.
Yeah, well, they're forcing the pass because of the scoreboard. And again, it's good defence from Castleford. They're digging deep. The defence over recent weeks has been absolutely exceptional. They're forcing errors. The players who are defending 3 in from the touchline all night have been coming up and forcing the Hull FC players back inside. Lee Radford men looking to shift the play, can't find the space, trying to create space. It's just not there.
Head and feed to the Castleford Tigers, looking to put this game beyond their opponents and playoff rivals Hull FC. Here is Massey, and if they can't do that, then just play it up at this end of the field, the Hull end of the field, in front of their own supporters, packed into the terracing. Good strong run from Matt Cook. McShane, there's a penalty, and will Ellis go for the 2 points?
I think they'll play. I think they'll tap the ball and play, won't they? They've had such a good evening with the ball. Why not have a bit of fun now? 26-12 the scoreline. Another try would pretty much seal it for the Tigers. They've had good success with the ball as well.
McShane directing operations, indicating that they are going to play the ball, keep it alive, keep Hull working. Here is Truman. Truman's pass. Holmes. Jake Connor with the tackle. Minicello in there as well. McShane to Truman. Now here's Liam Watts. Watts takes it up and into the face of his former colleague Scott Taylor. Used to be part of the front row with him for Hull FC. Here is Blair. Blair. Boom. Big tackle from Nalago on him. Holmes. Truman. Watts Now Ellis, little burst of pace from Ellis, then McMeekin comes back in field. That's the 5th tackle. And they're going to run it, they're running it, and they're scoring with it. And it's James Clare who rounds it off, surely for the Castleford Tigers now. With his 15th try of the season in Super League, his 16th overall. He scored an acrobatic try against Hull FC last year. He's come up with the finish, and it could be the finish of this game as far as Hull FC are concerned now. Well, and the Castleford Tigers put it beyond them with that try.
Well, you just can't switch off when you play against Castleford. They're always examining the try line. They're caught out wide with Carlos Tumavavi and Mark Sneed when they're shooting. It makes it more or less impossible then for young Jack Logan to solve that problem then. Paul McShane, nice movement at the line. Great play from Castleford, nice attack. They examined over on the left-hand side, they go over to the right, they have some joy, and they're nice and composed.
Well, I think that's it. I think the ground announcer, or whoever sets off the post-match celebration, needs to get Sweet Caroline ready. Because Castleford Tigers, hefty scoreline, some deep thoughts for Andy Last and Lee Radford. Ryan Sheridan and Darrell Powell will be delighted with the way that his team, or their team, have approached this game.
James Clare with his 3rd try of the season against Hull FC. And now then Ellis. Is he on target again? He is. Hasn't missed.
Well, the best people in sport make things look simple, and the Tigers do that exactly. Having a fullback obviously creates an extra man. It's a numbers game. Just look at the man in the middle of the screen at the top, changes at the last minute, comes over to this side. They've got more attackers than they've got defenders. That's the reason why Hull end up in trouble. And he dots it down over the line. Good finish for the right winger, but he's been an amazing recruitment decision. I don't know whether they went for him. There was a swap with Huddersfield, but I think the Tigers would be delighted that Jordan Rankin ended up at their club.
He has. He was good against Saints last week. He's been good tonight as well.
Consistently good, yes. Now Hull, they've lost the plot here now. Conceded a penalty for dissent, back chatting to the referee. And this is a big test here now if they can rebuild themselves. The season's not over, but it's in a terrible state right now. I thought they looked like a decent side, and we're a little bit unlucky not to win the Challenge Cup semi-final against Warrington. But since then, they look like a team probably one are facing relegation the way they've played in recent weeks. And they've got a big task here now to turn it around before the season's over.
Well, yes, they went into this game having lost 4 of the last 5, and this run of poor form coming at just the wrong time for them as far as their season goes. So they're going to have to go into their final round game at home to St Helens next week, hoping that they can win that and that Wigan can see off the Castleford Tigers.
Well, they've played them twice so far, the Saints, this year. Hull not got close, have they lost by about 30 and 40 points in the 2 matches, but you never know with this Hull side.
Well, they've been consistently pretty poor at home, and they haven't been great away from home tonight. James Clare is closed down by Logan, whose second-half try really did give Hull some hope. McShane just nudges that one into touch.
You can spot that, you know exactly what he's going to do, Paul McShane. Taylor likes of him, Jake Truman. The control that they've got at the back end of the sets really does help you if you're a big forward. And Castleford, you've got to be really impressed with the way that not only have they played tonight, but the last 4 games, they've only conceded a total of 4 tries. It's the right sort of form you want. Jake Truman, absolutely on fire in this game. He can only do his job, though, if the rest of his teammates do their job and set that platform and give him that field position.
Minicello is determined as ever. He'll be missed by this whole side. Here's the new man, Tavita Satai.
He's had a good debut, hasn't it?
Here's Houghton. Houghton running. Danny Houghton running, and he's got Kelly in support. Kelly gets the pass, away, and it was Minicello, but Minicello in among a posse of Castleford players couldn't take the pass, and it's Minikin who comes up with it for the Castleford Tigers.
And it's Paul McShane that gets back and helps Cassie's cause there. Don't concede a try. Have that pride in your defensive line when it's broken.
He's up quick again, isn't he, Sarte? As I said, first time we've had a look at him on Sky. He'll be a quality addition to this black and whites, and I do have a degree of sympathy for Lee Radford. So many players leaving, keeping them motivated, keeping them on task is a difficult management skill.
Sartai with the tackle on McMeekin. McShane, and here is Liam Watts, who will have enjoyed his reunion with his former colleagues, Jesse Seni-Lafeo. Big performance from him as well tonight. So they, if they do get that fifth and final playoff place, then the Castleford Tigers will go into the playoffs in pretty good nick, and they might not have finished. And Rankin deservedly might have the final try of the night, not awarded yet. Referee Ben Thaler again asking for input from video ref Robert Hicks, and I think he's looking for onside offside, Stuart.
That's right. Just on the kick, happy with the grounding.
But you can't miss him. He's the one with the illuminous boots.
Hard from that angle. Very hard, isn't it, from that angle?
Yeah, again, they'll refer to the on-field decision. Neither touch judges called for that as offside, so they'll probably go with that. Just check the grounding, which is absolutely fine. This will be confirmed.
And that surely rounds off a resounding victory for the Castleford Tigers. The whole fans heading for the motorway. Jordan Rankin with his 9th try of the season. Daryl Powell, just a glimmer of a smile of satisfaction on his face. And Jordan Rankin running, whoever gets the man of the match award close.
Whichever player named Jake Truman gets man of the match. It's been about the spine, it's been about those decision makers, hasn't it? The ability of that player to kick the ball into the right area. Jake Truman puts it in the end goal. The hard-working fullback. He is a run threat. He has got a good passing game, and he's enthusiastic at the back. He's enjoyed his evening against his former side. Been a quality team performance from Cass.
Ellis, a quality kicking performance from him. 7 from 7 for Ellis. And Jordan Rankin has somewhere in the past Scottish ancestry, but I don't think it's strong enough for the Scottish international side. And wins the applause of his coach. I don't think he's related to the famous thriller writer by the same name, same surname.
You've lost me, Bill. Thriller by Michael Jackson.
Disappointing night for Albert Kelly and Hull FC, who were hoping that they would put 5th place beyond the Castleford Tigers, make it theirs, but and somebody has said something, and
Jake Connor.
Ben Thaler has had enough. That sums it up.
Well, he won't stand for it, will he, Ben Thaler? He's a seasoned campaigner. Jake Connor, talented player, he's been turning round, having a go at his teammates. Mark Minicello, he's just giving him a right serve as he's walking off the field. The frustration is there from everybody. You can see Ben Thaler waving his arms, get off the field, I won't stand for it.
Well, I'm not surprised there's no sound on that footage. Well, I think he swore at everybody in this stadium, and he is an outstanding player, Jake Connor. I love watching him at his best. But when it's not going for him, he loses his marbles.
Well, he's gone straight down the tunnel as Jake Connor, and that really does round off a miserable night for Hull FC. That just 1 or 2 moments when it looked as though they might be getting it together, they might find a way back, but really, Castleford Tigers have dominated this game virtually from the word go.
They've been really good. Look at him again, the movement that they've got in.
Finished. Oh, he's back. Matt Cook is back. He's lost his voice. for 6 weeks or something like that. Hasn't been able to speak. Well, he's got his voice back now. He's cheering, as are the Castleford Tigers players. He's got a lot to shout about. So has Daryl Powell.
He nearly smiled.
That's a big performance. That the Hull away from home, really good. That's why they've been pushing for the top 5. So to put 42 points past them has been a really good performance. And this is what you like to see. Forward, passing the ball, tipping it on, and the pass from Liam Watts isn't giving it to his teammate, thinking that, well, do you know what? You just have it, you can take a belt here. He puts it in Matt Cook's hand because he sees the space around him, in front of him, and he knows what he's got from that player. A committed runner, a good player, and he's finished the night off well for Cass.
On his 250th Super League appearance, as you can see, 6 games out with a throat infection that robbed him of his voice. Some within the camp said that wasn't a bad thing.
Well, they'll be singing the victory song at the end of this. As for their opponents, as Jamie Ellis lines up, probably an easier one for him to finish off the night. He's probably just watching that clock tick down. Hull haven't just been beaten. They look like they're broken. When they've got players falling out on the pitches they've had here for the last 25 minutes or so, massive task here now in that dressing room immediately as they all enter it here, for the coach to somehow pull them back together.
It's the 6th time this season Hull have conceded over 40 points in a game.
Well, you know that because you'll need to look at the league table and the points difference. They'd scored 1 try more than Castleford, but had a 150-point difference in terms of points scored and conceded when we looked at the league table before this match. That's even worse now.
You said it before, Bill, if they go. They only concede a number of points. And whether it's they don't believe that they can get back in the game, I don't know what it is.
So the Castleford Tigers supporters ready to celebrate. It's been the final home game of the season for them. And it's been a good send-off. And the season might not be over yet. Well, it's not over yet because they've got one more round in the regular season with a game at Wigan. But it could be playoff action. Ryan Sheridan and Daryl Powell celebrates quietly. Jake Truman, influential, just 20 years of age, former Bradford Bulls Academy player. Jake Truman, instrumental tonight. Jordan Rankin ran him close, I reckon.
Really good. A number of players made for Castleford. I'm not going to be influenced in who I'm going to pick for man of the match. By the way, Bill Barrett, no. Jordan Rankin, really good. Liam Watts, excellent. Jesse Senny Lafayette, Mike McMeekan. But that man has got to be. He scored a few tries. His try assists were really strong, and he saved a try as well. So scoring a hat-trick, and Daryl Powell knows what talent he has really got in front of him.
Well, he is the reigning Super League Young Player of the Year. He is in the Great Britain performance squad, and he has performed outstandingly tonight for the Castleford Tigers, who go into 5th place in the table on points difference on the back of this victory. But Daryl